Hello everybody, this is Dr. Bob DeMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob. Some very phenomenal questions. Question number one, are there a drugless or is there a drugless way to treat hernia? I'm assuming that you're talking about abdominal or inguinal type of hernia, and I really have not had any experience with some successful in the long term. Hiatal hernia, disc hernias are a little bit different, but I'm assuming you're talking about more of an abdominal challenge. So if it's not that, please contact us. Somebody had a really interesting question about blood sugar and their blood sugar in the morning and the blood sugar in the evening. They specifically said, why is morning fasting blood sugar higher in the morning after a 12-hour fast? You know, it's not the same for everybody. Everybody is different when it comes to their blood sugar stress. I'll give you an example. People who have subpar thyroid function have sugar handling stress. So there are a lot of reasons. If you wake up in the morning and you may have a blood sugar issue, you may consider having your thyroid also checked. That was a good question, by the way. Someone had a question about dry hands they've had for years and years and years. They've done all kinds of creams and lotions, and what we have had great success with oil-wise for dry hands is two things. Blackcurrant seed oil, which is like a combination of omega-3, 6, and 9, and using calcium. And sometimes you might just be dehydrated, and you could be dehydrated because you don't have enough oil in your gut or your intestines. How does one work with estrogen dominance, subpar thyroid gland, and adrenal fatigue, and exercise, and a combination of a variety of factors? Estrogen dominance usually means that you're either exposed to too much estrogen, you're not able to clear estrogen, liver, and or you're producing estrogen yourself because your abdominal region is making estrogen. So estrogen dominance is caused by a variety. Number one, you want your liver to be able to clear it, but if you have an obesity issue, you're making estrogen, and your liver has to clear that. So I hope that answers your question. Liver is the key. Someone had a question about putting coconut oil all over the body. You know, I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. I take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil every day internally. It does my body good. If you have either dry skin, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to do to yourself. A lot of times you have dry skin because your body needs water and it needs oil to heal your gut, where you might consider some probiotics. Somebody had a question about a product from Standard Process called Drenamin and helping Duchenne muscular dystrophy. They wanted to know if that would help. Honestly, I don't know. But if you're using Drenamin, which is adrenal tissue, you may consider an adrenal stress index to check out how your adrenal gland is functioning. Someone read my book, Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days, and wanted to know why I suggested salmon oil versus tuna and or cod liver oil. At the time that I did the testing on the book back in the year 2000, salmon oil was just very common oil. Actually, today in our practice we use an anchovy and a sardine-based oil for our source of oil. Why do you recommend not chew, or why don't you recommend chewing gum? Because what I have found that gum, either with organic cane juice or any kind of sugar alcohol, upsets normal digestion in the body. I'll give you one example. We had somebody that did come in with chronic distress in her body, digestive-wise. Dr. Anthony looked at the label of the gum they were chewing, and I'm not sure, I think it had xylitol on it. We don't promote any alcohol sugars. I don't care what the scientific community says. In our practice, day to day, when we talk to people who chew gum either have some kind of digestive distress or some kind of other interruption of their normal activity, because your liver still has to clear it. And then the next person, and it could have been the same individual, why did dentists say you should chew gum? Does it help digestion after a meal? Well, I think the best way to help digestion is make sure you have enough digestive enzymes, minimize or avoid gluten, minimize or eliminate dairy. We don't promote gum chewing, any kind of gum chewing at all. And this is an interesting question. Somebody said, I heard you say bad things about nightshades causing shoulder pain, which nightshades are tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and green pepper. There's other foods that are considered. I know that you asked me about cayenne pepper being a nightshade. And so if you do the research on cayenne pepper and the type of ingredients that it uses, talked about the P factor. Let me tell you from my experience. I eat tomatoes, I eat potatoes, and I eat eggplant. I don't have pain. Do you know why? Because I don't have a compromised liver. So people who have compromised livers may have greater potential to have pain from nightshades, tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and green pepper. So my whole constant point about this is that 90% of you watching me right now, anywhere in the world, have compromised liver function. So if cayenne pepper has helped you, that is tremendous. But most people I see in the practice, tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and green pepper, if you have compromised liver function, will cause pain. So thank you for clarifying that, and if cayenne pepper helps you, that is tremendous. But other people watching me, paprika could be a problem. It's part of the nightshade family, and you know, tomatoes and salsa could be a problem for some of you. Tremendous questions. I know it'll make a difference in your lives. I'm Dr. Bob DeMaria.